Welcome back to Steve Rod Reviews. Today we're going to have an interesting project on what would you do if you had to stiffen up your fence. So in my particular situation, I have a 50-foot long fence that I've just built, and it's got a little bit of a wobble to it in the wind. Now of course this is what I call a veneer fence, which is a fence that was built over top of an existing wire fence with steel poles concreted in the ground. So on a day like today, it's not that windy, but I can show you when I go out in the backyard exactly what I'm thinking. And I mentioned before that I'm going to put a big vegetable raised bed box at one end to support it. And I decided in the middle I'd go with something. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think of this idea. I just thought it myself. You know, to me it makes logic. I'll take you out in the backyard and I'll show you what I'm thinking and why I'm doing this. Okay, so here we are out in the backyard. It's a little bit windy, and as you can see, yeah, it's got some flex to it. So I'm going to show you what I first designed down on the ground here. Let's take a look. Okay, so there we are right there. Now I built myself a box out of pressure treated wood. That's a 2x10, and I extended the bottom a bit. And you can see I put a slot in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig up a support that goes along the fence there, comes in there, and then right in here I'm going to fill it full of concrete, and I'm going to put some rebar in there. Well, kind of. So let's get to it. I'll take you back out to the garage and we'll start building this support up. Well, here we are, we're in the shop, and we've got ourselves a piece of 3/16 by 1.5 inch square tubing, and I made myself a couple of brackets here, 2 on this side and 2 will go on the other side. And I just got some scrap pieces here, and this is a scrap piece, and this will go in the corner. I think it's thick enough. And from here to here is going to be buried inside the concrete. So you can see how this is going to go to the end there. And there's a couple of more brackets there. And from here up to about 6 inches is going to be buried in concrete. And that box out there is 22.5 by 12 inches wide by 11.5 inches deep. So I'm not too sure how many bags of concrete that's going to take, but I got to rig this all up here so it will be standing vertical when I weld it. So I'll bring you back when I got that all rigged up. Okay, I just thought I'd show you the rigging I got here. I got it all clamped to my joist in the ceiling, and it comes down, and that's what it's going to look like right there. So I like to get everything nice and square. So there we go that way. And we come around to this side, get it all square. Now what I'm going to do is I just left enough room on the back side here to put a bead. So I'm just going to put a tack on all 4 corners, and then that should be enough so I could next put this gusset in here for strengthening. What do you guys think? That should be easy enough. Let's get to it. Okay, let's put a couple of tacks on here and get her done. There you go. Let's put a couple on the other side now. Okay, let's take a look and see how we are right now. Well, I would say that's not too bad right there. So when I take this gusset and tack it in there next, that should be fine. I mean, we're not building a rocket ship here, right? Let's get to it, and let's put that support gusset in there. just put a clamp on here because I know that pulled it out. See if I can get a clamp on here. Whenever you're working with metal, oh yeah, it distorts it and pulls it and everything else. I'll get you a better shot there, show you where we are. Okay, without this clamp on here, that was a good 1/8 of an inch gap, so you got to clamp her in. There we go. So I'll weld that all up and then we'll get back. Okay, there she is. She's all done. It's pretty windy out here. So I just put a clamp at the top to hold it, and that's where the one bracket is and the other bracket. I don't know if I'm going to use just screws in there, or I might go through with a carriage bolt, but if you take a look in here, you can see I just put a leg down there just to make sure it's self-sustaining. And what I'll do is I'll screw that or bolt it to the frame there first, and then wait for a nice calm day and pour the cement. Now that's 2 cubic feet in there, so I figure about 14, 16 bags of cement easy. What do you guys think? Okay, I'll bring you back when I got this all painted and she's mounted on the wall on the fence. And then I'll have to wait for a good day to put the bags of concrete in there. Guys, I'm thinking 4 bags for 2 cubic feet, maybe 4 bags. We'll see, I'll let you know. But that's it right there. Well, it's day 2 and I'm going to continue with the project. I just want to show you something first. This is what I was planning on using instead of rebar to pound in the ground. I got lots of this gas pipe. A buddy of mine is a gas fitter. He gives me this pipe. Won't fit my pounder. So I had to go and buy some rebar here. And you know, 4 pieces. Now they're 10-foot length, so 2 pieces. I cut them in half. 40 bucks. I could not believe it. Okay, so the total price of this whole project going in, I figure now is going to be about 110 bucks. So in America, that's about $67. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you off the tripod. I'm going to show you the painted support brace. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it. I got a couple of jigs I got to make up first and put all the rebar in. You know, I'll show you how I'm going to drive in one piece of rebar using this in case a lot of people are curious how I do this. But I'll bring you back after that. But let's go take a look at that support bar and see how it turned out. Okay, she's still windy and rainy, but yeah, it turned out okay. You know, you put the paint on her to her and it makes the welds look 10 times better. Okay, if you're wondering about that plug, what I do with a lot of these projects is, I'll show you at this end here, is this here is just one of them blue shop towels stuffed in there, and then I got some latex caulking I just put in there, and that's just to cover it up. But this is where I'm going to put the rebar in first, and then I'll mount it to the fence, and then I'll come back and show you what we got. Okay, I decided to only go with 2 pieces of rebar. These are 5/8 rebar, and I'm going to save the other 2 pieces for the flower box that I mentioned. I'm going to, not flower box, vegetable box I'm going to make down the end there to support the end of the fence as well. So I'll save them for them, but I'm just going to show you me putting one of these in. So I just kind of stabbed it in the ground for now, and I'll show you how easy these go in. Well, hopefully if I don't hit a rock. Okay, I'll take you off the tripod and show you what we got in there. Okay, so that's it right there. Guys, I'm figuring them two pieces, come on. I don't think that's going to move anywhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'll mount the support brace, and I'll show you that after. Well, I got it all leg screwed in. I think that should be fine. And I'll show you here on the fence if I can get it on here. There we go, right there. Okay, now the only thing that we have to check for now is how level the fence is. So you could see that right there. It's not perfect, but I like it to be a lot better than that. So I'm going to put a couple of support braces in to make sure that when I pour in the concrete there, that the fence is perfectly level. Well, what do you guys think? I'll show you what I got going on here. I just notched them out there like this. And if you're wondering where this hunk of wood came from, it's the center from them top rail pieces. And we'll come down the bottom here. Yeah, I had to shim it up just right. So I've got this one, and that's holding that fence pretty good. And I'll tell you, she's pretty breezy here today. And I'll put the level up and we'll take a look and we'll see how level it is now. Right there. Now how does that, guys, look to you? Now I had to pull that fence back about 3/4 of an inch. So that's not too bad. And you can see that this fence is pretty steady now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is wait till it's nice and calm out, probably tomorrow. And I'm going to fill this full of concrete. These guys think some 2 rebars are good enough? I think they are. And I'll bring you back when I have the concrete in there. And I'm just going to tell you something. You're never going to see this post in the first place. This is just a support piece, but I'm going to clad this with pressure treated wood. And this is going to be one of them standouts that you would have that you hang a flower pot off of. And I think it's going to look nice. So I'll give you one last shot here from what it looks like down here. Yeah, that's going to be one of them brackets that you hang a pot off of. And down here, well, that's just going to be a spot where you can actually just put a pot, you know, like some flowers or whatever. So I'll bring you back when I got the concrete all poured. And that's it. Let's go in the garage. I want to tell you something. Okay, so that was pretty easy. It took 3.5 bags of cement. And as you can see, I like to put the painter's tape around the outside of the wood, so when I'm, you know, smoothing it all out, well, just makes the wood look a little bit better, right? So, but what is the whole purpose of this is not just particularly for my veneer fence that I put over top of a wire fence. This could work terrific for anybody that has a regular wooden fence. You know, you see a lot of fences today, you know, as they get older, you know, they start to get wobbly. And, you know, nice to get another 10 years out of a fence instead of spending 10 grand. And if you put one of these in or 2 in, well, the fence will stay up. A lot of times in high wind situations, yeah, you'll get a fence that starts to lean over. This is a good way to prop it back up and then put a good support in there so it stays there. So I hope you like this, and the next time I'll take you out in the backyard and I'll show you the finished product of what it's going to look like when it's clad with wood and it's got a planter hanging from it later on in the summer. And I'm going to start working on the vegetable box. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but it's got to be good for eating vegetables out of, not for just flowers. So of course I don't want to have any contamination from pressure treated wood or any kind of you know, chemicals and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have to investigate this a little bit more, and I'll bring you back when I'm doing that. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you like this little bit of a project. If you've never seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe and come back for more. Cheers.